we live in a neoliberal society, and consumption and wealth generation is probably the most important priority for most people, men and women in these societies. How damaging to our mental health is neoliberalism?
I don't like usually to speak in black and white terms, but in this case, I think it's appropriate to say that living in the West oftentimes has the opposite effect of what Islamic psychology should have. And I would like to motivate this a little bit more. The first is the fact that the nafs is told, take whatever you can, be greedy, take more, you need more. And this is exactly the lowest stage of the nafs, and we usually work in a model that has 7 stages of the nafs. So there's a lot of room to improve. We're stuck in the first and the lowest, which is nafs al-ammara, the nafs that wants, that orders, that wants more. And the proof of it is that people, when they have this enlightenment model in the West, the best they can do is criticize themselves, which is the second stage of the nafs. Nafs al-lawama, the self-criticizing nafs, which is destructive and brings to guilt. The nafs al-lawama is supposed to be a short step, and then you move on to the higher stages. Right. But in the West, we're stuck.
You shouldn't wallow in self-criticism.
Oh, never. This is one of the main problems that Muslims have nowadays. This guilt is not ours. We do not live in guilt. We repent, and then we move on. We reorient our heart towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we move on. And going back to the issues of the Western model of mental health care is another disaster, complete disaster, is the constant distraction. The ghafla, technically, it's really what is the enemy of growth of the nafs. And which means scrolling and being constantly entertained, and there's music everywhere. And this is not from a position of fiqh, I emphasize. This is from a position of care. I don't advise even non-Muslims to do these things. And so sometimes I claim it is correct to be sick. It is good if people feel anxiety and feel meaningless and feel horrible in this. It's fine, it's good. So what is the solution then? Because it's a big problem. And in the Islamic tradition, we do have a solution for this. It is called zuhd. So asceticism. What does it mean? If the rat race is something you do not want to join, and if the system is broken, get out of the system. And there are different ways to do that. And one is to want less. And this is not to sound like Buddhist. It is something that comes from our tradition.
Yes.
Desire less, consume less, eat less, sleep less even sometimes can be therapeutical too. And you will desire less, and you will be then a bit disconnected from this, and you will find the clarity. Because if you do not spend all your time on social media, you have time to think. If you do not spend all your time in entertainment and work and commute, you will be able to gain the spiritual and mental strength to really see the life as it